What's going on, people? First time you see my face on my channel. Gonna try to make a quick little video inspired by the last couple of videos put up by Senor El Presidor talking about NFL football, soccer, and rugby. First of all, don't know much about rugby, so really can't talk much to it. Respect the guys though, they don't wear pads, but of course they tackle a lot differently than what they do at the NFL. From what I've seen, I could be wrong, I've not seen this happens all the time, but it's more of they run up to the guy, grab him, and then pull him down to the ground versus running at full speed from 10, 15 yards out, putting their shoulder into him, and knocking the motherfucker out. Alright, like I said, I'm going to try to make this as quick as I can here. Now, as far as soccer and football, football hands down, man. It's definitely a lot more difficult game to play, and you got to be, more manly, I guess you could say, to play it. Now, let's face it, man, soccer, I mean, guys get touched, you just barely breathe on them, or touch them a little bit, just, they fall to the ground, grab their leg or their ankle or their knee, whatever, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm hurt, I got a doctor. They start crying like little fucking bitches. All right, now there's a video that Presidor tweeted that I suggest you guys check out. I'm going to see if I can find a link to that video, put it down below here, which it's a show called Sports Science where they actually measured the force of one Ray Lewis that he imparts when he makes a tackle. Okay, now granted he did this against a door with a plate on it that they could measure it, but it was a standard exterior door that was dead bolted, framed up, everything was proper. Within three steps, that motherfucker put in 1,000 pounds of force onto the door, ran right through it. What does that mean? Well, in the human body, the femur, which is your biggest bone and most dense bone, will break at about 700 to 800 pounds of pressure. If you don't know what the femur is, look it up. I'm not going to go over it. This is where a little bit of physics comes into play. Because force equals mass times acceleration. Now, this was 1,000 pounds of force put in by a guy after 3 steps. Okay, this dude isn't some fat American, or whatever the fuck some people were saying on Presidor's videos about how all football players are fat and out of shape. Fucking Ray Lewis is what, 6'3", 6'4", 250 pounds of solid muscle. He wasn't even going full speed. Now, if your femur is going to break at 700, 800 pounds of force, what do you think 1,000 pounds is going to do to a fucking rib? It's going to snap it like a twig. That's the reason why we have to have pads in American football. Those shoulder pads, which also cover, the top part of the chest, helps to reduce that impact force by up to 50%. Now, if they didn't wear pads and a guy was putting a shoulder into another guy with 1,000 pounds of force after 3 steps, NFL season would only be, 3 games long if we're lucky, and that's it. Okay? That there alone shows how much force, how much power, and how much more harder hitting NFL football is than anything else. Yeah, you're going to say rugby, and I've seen some video clips with some big hits, but of course, too, those guys are nowhere near the size of NFL players. Now, a lot of you are saying, well, what about the linemen? They're fucking fat. Yeah, they're like, 6'5" on up, and they weigh 300, 320, 340, 350 pounds, but those motherfuckers are in some serious shape. How good a shape? Well, if you ever watch combine or workout deals, I mean, they're bench pressing like 400, 500 pounds, 20, 30 times, and their 40 times, if you don't know what a 40 time is, look it up, I'm not going to explain it to you, their 40 times are below 5 seconds. You can't tell me that those motherfuckers are just fat and out of shape if they can do that. Now, once again, like I said, force equals mass times acceleration. You get somebody the size of Ray Lewis or even bigger, starting at about, let's say just 10 yards out from a guy who's going to lay a hit on. That 1,000 pounds, granted, I don't know what the math is, but that fucking 1,000 pounds is going to be multiplied by a lot and probably impart more than 2,000 or 3,000 pounds of force onto a guy's chest. Come on, you can't tell me that ain't some hard hitting. And to say, oh, American football is pussy football because they got to wear pads. Yeah, they would be fucking killed if they didn't. Now, way back when American football really first started, back in the late teens, early 20s, they didn't play with any pads either. Guys were getting broken bones left and right. A couple guys nearly died. And at one point, the sport was almost outlawed because of the brutality of it. So just because they're wearing pads doesn't make it more of a pussy sport. It makes it safer so that we can actually enjoy it as entertainment, which sports is supposed to be. Now, let me give you another example of toughness. Once again, soccer players, you barely breathe on them wrong. They're going to drop to the ground, cry like a whiny little bitch, and say, oh, I'm hurt, or whatever. Listen to this. Look up the name Ronnie Lott. He was a safety for the San Francisco 49ers for a majority of his career. He played for the Jets and the Raiders too, but that's towards the end. That dude was probably one of the hardest hitting motherfuckers that ever played the game. Not the hardest, but one of. Plus one of the toughest motherfuckers too. How tough? This dude, I believe, was in 86 or 87 while he was involved in a tackle. Dude fucked up his pinky. Now, you're going to say it's just a pinky or whatever, but just let me finish here. Basically shattered the thing. Doctor said, okay, we got to put pins in it. You're going to have to wear a cast. And what that means is your season's done. You know, that's it, you're done. Ronnie Lott's like, nah, fuck that. What can I do to get back out on the field sooner? The doctors originally were joking around and said, well, you know, we can amputate the finger, may miss 2 or 3 games. He said, cut the motherfucker off. So the dude's missing a good majority of a pinky. Now that's fucking tough right there. And a lot of you are going to say, well, it's just a pinky, blah, blah. It's just a pinky. Well, considering the fact that with your hand, you have to be able to knock down passes, intercept, grab people, you know, missing a fucking pinky is fucking difficult. Now, if you take a soccer player, can't say anything about rugby, don't know about that, but if you take a soccer player where they don't even use their hands, and somebody gets tackled and they do the same thing to their finger when they hit the ground, that motherfucker will be out for like 2 years rehabbing the thing, even though he could probably play with a cast on his hand because you're not supposed to use your hands anyway. That's toughness. That is proof alone right there. Undeniable, unrefutable, factual fucking evidence that NFL football is a lot tougher and a lot manlier than soccer. I know you're saying, well, no, it's actually football. Fuck it. I'm calling it soccer. Fuck you. I don't care. And I'm calling American football football. And of course, I'm already hearing, oh, in football, they don't even really use their feet. Blah, 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 blah. Who fucking cares? Okay? If you're going to go that route, then yeah, like Perez says, we should call soccer kickball. You know, if you're going to change names around, people are saying, oh, they should call it hand egg. No, fuck that. You know, if you're going to change anything, maybe call it throw ball because you throw the ball more than anything else. So, bottom line, soccer ain't shit when it comes to toughness. Now you say, oh, they run around for 90 minutes straight. No, they don't. You got 2 45-minute halves, and they're not running full speed, sprinting, or even jogging for that entire fucking time. You watch a match, the guys that are around the ball are the ones that are running, moving around. You got the guys that are, you know, 20, 30, 40 yards away. They're kind of milling around, just waiting to see what way they go before they actually take off. So, in conclusion, I'm not going to make another video about this. President said he was going to give me some props and actually tweet this video. So, hopefully, Beast, after you see this, this is Beast watched, Beast tested, and Beast approved. You can't get much tougher than fucking NFL football. That's just the way it is. I'm out.